Oh, hello, beautiful people. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to Sahtein. Ha ha ha. Have I got a treat in store for you today? I am always excited for the things that I make on this channel, if you can't already tell. But today, especially, let's just say I'm very excited for my iftar tonight, because it's gonna be lit. Today, I am making malfoof, which are stuffed cabbage rolls. Sounds a bit different? It is. Guess what? You're gonna love it. When I was little, or really whenever I go to Jordan, we get just the most beautiful platter of these from Faize, who you met in my Mensaf video. I am telling you, I could eat an infinite number of these. A nice mixture of rice and ground meat and spices, rolled up into cabbage rolls, cooked over a slow, low flame. So they are just so tasty and really, really nutritious as well. These will basically melt in your mouth. This is normally made using ground meat, but I today am going to be using Beyond Meat, which is an awesome substitute for so many Arabic dishes, but feel free to use regular ground meat or use even a can of chickpeas if you have that. That is a great source of protein and it will be really, really delicious with this. So use what you have. This is the first recipe that I'm sharing that involves rolling like we do with grape leaves, or in this case, cabbage leaves, which does take a little bit more time. When you commit to a dish like this and giving yourself a little bit of time to really roll these beautifully, you're gonna end up with a very special final product that I know you're gonna love. The first thing that we need to tackle is just softening the cabbage leaves so that we can use them to roll. So there's many, many ways that people do this. You can look online and find many methods. Here is an easy method that I learned. Wash your cabbage and get a big pot of boiling water. Use some kind of instrument to stab the bottom of the cabbage and put it in the water so that you don't have to actually touch the hot water. Leave it for a few seconds and you'll start to feel the leaves soften. Use a knife to cut around the cabbage and you'll see that the leaves will slowly just start to fall right off. Taking the outermost leaves, chopping them off at the root, and then just letting them peel away by themselves. I can't tell you how satisfying this is, like truly. Just effortlessly pulling off leaves from a cabbage stem is really nice. They're good when they're like soft and floppy like this. That means you can actually work with them. If you're making this for a bigger group of people, you might need to use 2 cabbages, but I obviously am just doing it for me, so I only need 1. The cabbage leaves themselves only need about 5 or 10 minutes to get completely soft. So as you're pulling pieces off the cabbage, you can pull the already done ones and place them on a plate. Once you get to the center, you're gonna start getting these like really teeny leaves. And these are really not easy to wrap, so they're getting basically too small for us to use. So at this point, we'll pause on this, we'll put it to the side, we're gonna save it, let these just cook. Let these cook for just a few more minutes until they're all nice and soft and ready to use. Put those on the plate, and then we will move on to our wrapping and filling. All right, y'all, so our cabbage is here. I'm letting it cool down on a board. We're gonna get started on the filling. First thing I wanna do is brown my meat. So normally if I was using ground lamb or ground beef, you could just make this filling with the raw meat. But because I'm using a plant-based meat, I want to cook it beforehand. You can also do this if you're using regular meat as well. The difference is when you pre-cook it in this step before, you get that nice kind of fried browned flavor to the meat, which I really, really like. So I'm just gonna do that over there really quick. Super simple. We're just gonna put it in a hot pan with a little bit of grapeseed oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. Again, if you're using regular meat, you can totally do this as well. Just cook it all the way through, but don't let it get too dry and then pull it off. I have about a cup of rice that I have pre-rinsed and soaked, and we're just gonna put it right in here. I'm gonna use most of this, but maybe not all of it. I am actually gonna put more, because it's not actually that much meat that I made. So that's great. Things we're gonna add to this. Add a nice pinch of salt. Maybe 2 pinches. A few cracks of black pepper. I have 2 garlic cloves that I have crushed with a tiny bit of olive oil and salt. Yes, just 2, don't worry. There's plenty more coming later. We don't need to put a lot because we're going to be using the rest of the garlic to go between the beautiful layers of cabbage. We're gonna be putting a couple teaspoons of fresh ground cumin. If you have ground cumin already, that's great, just use it. But if you do have cumin pods or you have access to them, the flavor is so much stronger when you grind it fresh. So I encourage it if you can. I'm also adding a few dashes of ground cinnamon. that's it. My favorite 7 spice. This is my grandmother's mix. Every household has their own form of 7 spice. Every culture has their own form of 7 spice. Use something really fresh though. If you have like a nice freshly ground spice mix, that's gonna be the best. Because I'm using a plant-based ground meat as well, I'm gonna be putting a little bit more. So I'm gonna put about a tablespoon in here, and that's really gonna amp up the flavor. Lastly, a few tablespoons of olive oil, of course, always. We're gonna mix this up till it's all nice and combined. If you have caraway, you can also add a little bit of that to this. I don't have any, so I'm not putting any in. But if you have, that is also a very good traditional spice that is added to this. Beautiful. So we're ready to roll these. Pick up a cabbage leaf now that they've cooled down, and you wanna cut out this tough inner piece here because it's just gonna be a little bit tough and you're not gonna need it. But don't throw it away, save it. And if you get any of these like darker kind of gnarly bits at the end, just cut those off. You don't need those. But the rest, save. Cut it like this, and then you've got 2 little sheets, and these are like perfect sizes to roll. You want to take a little spoon of filling, not too much here. Put it about 1/3 of the way up the cabbage leaf. And what you want to do is take this end, fold it over, and then press it back on itself a little bit. So then you have a little bit going here. And then all you want to do is roll it up. And you do want them to be tight, but not too tight because you need to leave some room for the rice to expand. And if I was having guests over, I would trim the edges so it would look a little fancy, but we're not doing that. It's just me, so this is perfect. This is the part that's really slow and meditative. It's a little bit less complicated than doing grape leaves because you kind of can leave the edges loose like that. There you go, a little cigar. You might not end up using all the filling, and that's okay. And do these with care, you know? Like, don't focus on being too fast right now. Just focus on getting it right. Okay, y'all, we have it. We love it. Gorgeous. Iconic. Let's get ready to fill the pot. Remember this piece of the inside of the cabbage that we had? Snip off the bottom of the root and cut this into little chunks. You can cut this up however you want. There's really no special way. This is gonna be added into our scrap pieces. I have all of the cloves from 2 bulbs of garlic, and I'm just gonna slice them up roughly. Nothing really special here. So I still have quite a bit of my filling left, which is great. I'm going to freeze it, and then anytime you can just take it back out and stuff it into malfoof again, or grape leaves, or you could stuff it into zucchini, whatever you want. This is a really good base stuffing for so many Arabic dishes, and extra is a good thing. So we're gonna start layering. The first thing that goes in is all of the toughest parts of the cabbage. So I have that really tough inner part, all of the thickest pieces of cabbage that we have. I should mention that there is a little bit of grapeseed oil on the bottom of this pan. We're just gonna be layering garlic in between every layer. So I'm gonna put a few pieces of cloves, just scatter them around. Boop, boop, boop. I'm gonna start with my thickest malfoof pieces. Carefully just arrange them in a little pattern or however you like. I'm doing mine in a kind of like star pattern of sorts. We'll see how well it goes by the end. You wanna pack them in tight. It is stacked, it is ready, so it's time to cook it on the stove. Some boiling water, and we're just gonna pour it over top gently until we begin to see the surface of the water. And at that point, we stop. So cover this with a plate. You might wanna weigh down the plate with something. We're gonna turn on the heat and cook this on a medium-low flame for about an hour. When it is almost done, I like to add a little bit of lemon juice to it. So you want to make sure to let this cook until all the liquid is fully reduced. For me, that took closer to an hour and a half or 2 hours. So this is definitely a commitment and a worthy commitment. But we are all done now and it is ready to flip. Here are my tips for flipping a maqloubeh or a malfoof or whatever you're making. Make sure that it has a rim that is wide enough to fit everything and it's going to not fall over. You want to put the plate on top of your pot. Swift, quick motion, flip it over. You want to do it with confidence. You want to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, it's all going to go everywhere. Say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and flip. Oh, I felt that flop. Hey, 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 hey. Gosh, that smells good. Okay, so I could have used a slightly bigger plate, but no, this actually fits pretty well. Make sure to scrape off all of those delicious bottom pieces because those are gonna be so flavorful. Put those on top. It smells so good, I can't even tell you. Wow, 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 wow. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Wow. Let's get my plate. Where did it go? Where? And I will eat many of these. Oh, I'm so excited. This is also really nice to eat with a little bit of yogurt if you have it, if you like. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I'm so excited, oh my gosh. Oh, good. Oh, yes. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching always and supporting these videos. I really hope you enjoy this, and I really hope you make it because goddamn, this is so good. If you make this dish, please, please, please send it to me. Let me know how it goes. And if there are any recipes like these that you really want to see, let me know. I already have a running list of things that people are requesting, and I am always welcoming new ideas. I will see you guys next time. Thank you.